Hello, beautiful people. I am back. Did you miss me? I know you did. I had that effect. Don't worry about it. But I am back. I am back. I am back. I'm super excited to be back. I was on a little hiatus, It was very important for me to take time just to kind of get my thoughts together, plan, figure out what I wanted to do with my company, my brand, just the people I want to work with, getting really, really strategic about what I wanted out of life. But I'm back, I'm back like I never left because that's just my energy every time. But anyways, my name is Chanel Spencer and I'm the CEO of Maximum Evolution. And I love to help businesses to elevate themselves and get themselves to the next level in every way, branding, marketing, accounting, operations, all the good stuff, right? But today, that's not what we're here. We're not here to talk about what I do. I'm here to talk about this amazing project that I'm super excited about that is called Employee to Empire. And it's to help other business owners to really, truly get themselves to the next level. And if you want to be a business owner, but you're terrified, you have no clue what to do, this is the book for you, I promise you. And I also have some amazing, amazing, amazing co-authors and business owners that I have within this project. So I'm all about collaboration. I'm all about bringing people to the next level with me. And if you're not on this book, I'm not saying that you're not amazing. I'm not. But if you are on this book, you're extraordinary. So I'm super excited to be a part of this project, to be the lead of this project, and many more that's coming soon. Stay tuned, just saying. Make sure you're tapped in because we have more coming. I trust and believe that. But today I have one of the amazing business owners. He is phenomenal. Like, he really is. I've known him since I was like a teeny bopper. I feel like we used to work together and he was a game changer and he always looked amazing and styled people to the T. Okay. So if you need to get your looks together, if you need to get your vibes together, he is the man for you. I am just saying. So say hello to the beautiful people.
What's good, people? I'm Corey Hackett of Work Hard, Dress Well, and I believe when you look and feel good, you do good. So let's tap in, people. I'm happy to be here. Chanel, you're amazing. And let's tap in.
Perfection. So first of all, tell the people what the acronym means that you have next to your name.
Oh yeah, so WHDW stands for Work Hard, Dress Well. So it's different layers to that. At first when you see it and when you hear it, it's self-explanatory, right? Work hard, dress well. Now, I came up with that because I think just throughout life, the first impression that you make is usually with your eyes, right? What people see on your body. So I was always just taught to, dress to impress, show up, being the best version of yourself. And honestly, just with that alone, a lot of doors were open. So that's kind of like where that name came from just life experiences. And it just became a mantra and I kind of stuck with it.
So what do you do within your company?
So Work Hard, Dress Well, we equip people with tools that they need to have internal confidence for themselves, for their brand, and just for just for life in general. Mm-hmm. We inspire, we nurture, and we kind of just birth that within each individual that we kind of come across. And we do that through image, of course, like, mm-hmm. styling. On the branding side of things, we kind of do that through photography and videography. So, we create we curate your story to tell to the people, what you're trying to sell, what you're trying to articulate to your audience. And then we also focus on social intelligence, how to navigate our environments. So we focus on those key things. Overall, we're just a very detailed image consultant, and we kind of tap into those corners.
Yes. Listen. So, like I said, I've known Corey. All right, I'm not trying to give my age away. How long have you known each other for?
It's been a minute.
Like at least 10 plus years.
Yeah. Can I look? Can I share my story? Can I?
Sure.
Story?
Yeah, absolutely.
When I graduated from college,
mm-hmm.
I went to Albany State University down in Georgia, and I wanted to get in the fashion industry. So mm-hmm. I came to New York. I wanted to come to New York. I gave myself a year to find a job. Mm-hmm. And along that journey, I think I like, of course, I'm from Atlanta, right? And I first thing I do is go to Fifth Avenue. I know no better, right? I know fashion in Fifth Avenue in New York.
Right.
I go into all the flagship stores with this black suit on, white shirt, black tie, very basic. And I just go in every store and I'm asking for applications. I'm filling it out, signing it, and then a couple of days later, I get a couple of phone calls. One of them being Club Monaco, Ralph Lauren. Go to the interview. Ended up getting a position, and then this is where I met Chanel Spencer. Chanel and another good friend of ours, Josue, top sellers in this store, right? So again, I'm new to retail. I'm not new to fashion, but I'm new to the business of retail, the leadership, just like that hustle in New York. And gratefully and fortunately, Chanel and Josue kind of took me under their wings. I think it probably took me a little time to kind of like not necessarily prove myself, but to once you're in a new environment, people
integrate.
People try to keep out like who you are, what you do, like business is he's here trying to get work done. And I would like to assume that you guys probably saw something in me that yield your time and your energy to kind of like just show me the ropes.
Yeah.
Eventually kind of like from you guys, and especially you, like strong work ethic. And what I want to say about that is, what you do with your little is what you do with your lot. And I'm not surprised that you're here today doing what you're doing because of like that hard work, like in retail, being a top seller. And again, you're on Fifth Avenue. You're a Black woman on Fifth Avenue. And like, just killing it, name recognized and just being the top, being the number one. And then I know your career kind of expanded and grew from there. So, just from that alone, I was inspired. And I think that's a good way to kind of start a conversation on how we met. Now we're here.
So first of all, Club Monaco was the way you just said. I moved from Georgia and I was like, I give myself a year to get a job. Club Monaco, like I literally wrote it in the book because I had to talk about my journey and how I got to where I am today. Right. And so I literally like Club Monaco was like literally fell into my lap. So I was just on a mission. I just had my son. I was stressed like as hell because I'm like, I need to like get myself back into the groove of like building and goals and all those things. And I was like, I don't know what my next is. So I was going on interviews. I was going to school and I was going on interviews. I just left a gap and the gap was like, oh, your schedule. I knew I didn't get the job. Like the gap was probably on like 53rd and 5th or something like that. And so I'm like on the phone, upset, like I don't know what to do. And I don't know if you know somebody named Synovia. She used to work at Club Monaco. And I'm telling her, she's like, oh, go to my store because they might be having interviews, like they have open positions. And I was literally walking down Fifth Avenue and I was already dressed. So I was like, well, screw it, let me just go. So I go into Club Monaco. They end up having a group interview that day. And I was like, I'm just going to go, whatever, it is what it is. So I'm sitting in this group interview and they're asking me questions. I've never done a group interview in my whole entire life. I'm like, what is happening? Right. And I'm like, I hope I got it. And then I got the call back. And from then on, I was just on go, like on a mission. So you just said, yes, I didn't realize like people noticed that I was like killing it in my sales. Because listen, anything that I do, I'm like, I got to be the best and I got to get to the next level, whatever that means. Right. What? 5,000, 8,000.
I didn't know that story.
What happened? Say it again.
I said I didn't know that story. That's pretty awesome.
I promise you. Like that's literally how I ended up at Club Monaco. I was just like, I'm a person that it like in being in business, you have to be in now action. And sometimes you have those like negative self-talk moments where it tries to talk you off from doing whatever it is that you have within your mind. And imagine I was like, oh, I'm not ready. Or if I would have stayed in my feelings, or if I would have, you know what I mean? I could have made the decision not to go to the interview for whatever reason. But I was just like, listen, girl, like we got to get things done. Like we don't have time for this. Like go now, right? And so here we are today.
It's crazy. And then now just thinking about listening to your story and then how you presented yourself, like I thought you was just like been in the game for a couple of years, top seller, like people coming in asking for you by name.
Yes.
People are leaving when you're not there. Like we'll be there when Chanel is there. I'm like,
yes, I love people, and first of all, I love clothes. Like I'm not a fashion like person like Corey. You know what I'm saying? I need him to style me. I'm just saying, right? But I love clothes. I like clothes, and shopping have always been like I call it retail therapy for me. And so I've always wanted to look my best and present myself in the best that I possibly could. And like you said, image and first impression is it. And so how you present yourself is how you dress, how you carry yourself, all those things. And so it coupled together. Like, I can't sit here and spend thousands of dollars on Club Monaco clothes, but I can help you do it. So right. And so it was like getting the joy and the stress of it vicariously through the clients, but then also seeing them happy, and of course hitting my sales goals and exceeding my sales goals. So it's, just the vibe. I'm just saying. But yeah, so you started with Club Monaco, and clearly you've grown within Club Monaco and grown your career since then. So give us a little bit more about what your journey was and where you are today.
So as we said before, I took the retail route, and I actually majored in mathematics in school. So the backup plan, if fashion didn't work out, was I was going to go back to school, and honestly, I got accepted to law school, or I was going to go teach. But what kind of drove me to kind of like follow that plan with fashion is that, I grew up in the South, so I know what a teacher looks like, just as far as it's like coming out of school. A lot of African Americans down South, a lot of women, they go into the profession of teaching, of course. And of course, I was raised by women, and just being in school, most of my teachers were women. And you always hear that, there needs to be a Black male presence in the school. So that always stuck with me. And one of my male teachers, he was actually a great teacher, but what made him different was that he was retiring in education. So, I think some of the best teachers kind of live life first, and then they kind of go into the classroom, and not only are they teaching whatever the curriculum is at that time, they can also give you like some real life skills. Not that like teachers can't, or they aren't doing that, but I just think I felt like personally I got the most impact from that teacher. So I was like, okay, let me focus on, and then you get the self-taught, like, try while you're young, do it while you're young. It's like, I almost hear like these horror stories from the adults. It was like, well, if I had another chance, I would have tried. Right. So I'm like, okay, let me try this. If all else fails, I'll go back and live with mom dudes. Just give me a couple more years, try things, right? So I kind of just took that leap, and then just from there, I kind of grew within the company. So what I enjoyed about Club Monaco and what I was able to do with that was, I'm passionate about leadership, and I'm passionate about fashion. So, I think the next natural thing for me to do was to hop into management. Right. So, when you guys kind of transition out, I became like one of the top sellers at that point.
Wow. You're welcome.
Right? And then just from that, you start to get those questions from the top down, like, hey, what do you think about doing next? And it's like, I definitely want to become a manager. That first step is key holder. And then after that, you kind of grow into like the associate roles and stuff like that. However, it wasn't like completely ABC. There was a couple of challenges within that. And one of those being just like your pay, what you're worth. Also exploring to see what else is out there, even though you're in a current position. And just kind of just weighing all those options. So I kind of went through that journey of, I did go to another company. I did work with after Club Monaco, I believe. I think I went to J. Crew. And I was with J. Crew for a couple of years. And what happened was I became a key holder at Club Monaco. And I think I kind of got promoted externally with J. Crew, and went over to associate manager. And then the crazy thing about New York and then within the fashion industry is so small that everybody knows each other from different companies, right?
Same thing with hospitality, Chad. Everybody knows each other. Go ahead.
Everybody knows each other. So, and again, just to make clear, I did everything like the right way. I put in the proper notice. I had conversations with people like, hey, this is what I'm thinking about doing. I know you guys want me here, but I have other opportunities here that kind of that's more in alignment with what I need personally, my lifestyle, my quality of living. Like this is the language and the verbiage that I had to use when you start talking about money, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I kind of like, I still kept a rapport with everybody that everybody that I did right by. and I never burned any bridges. So what ended up happening is that I think Club Monaco made some changes. Some people who were on the field and leadership positions, they were elevated, right?
Right.
Hired, and while I was at J. Crew, I got another phone call from Club Monaco again, right? So obviously, I left some type of impact for somebody.
Listen, when you a game changer, they always
To,
come back.
to
Okay, they
yeah,
always continue. Okay.
exactly, to remember me. So, and that's when my tax bracket kind of changed, and I was became
Okay. Oh, not your money, your tax bracket. Go ahead.
uh, now you start talking about taxes, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Again, I'm just trying to show you the difference. Because again, to be
Yeah.
transparent, out of college, I was maybe even I was happy to have that job. I was maybe making what 16, $17 an hour or something like that. And
Mhm.
so yeah, I got that call back, and then that's where I became like associate manager, men's store manager. Um, and that's kind of like how I grew within the company. And the great things about working in those industries corporately is that you can learn a lot of, especially if they have a good growth and development program.
Mhm.
You learn like some of the stuff that I talk about within my company is just like
Absolutely.
emotional intelligence. How to
Yes.
navigate, how to
Yes.
talk to people, how to
Yes.
respond to people, how to
Yes.
build a rapport, customer service,
Mhm.
all of these things, right?
Yes. Yes.
And now you can transfer these to life skills, right?
Yes.
Then
Mhm.
the question becomes like, all right, how can I use this to benefit me, right? If
Mhm.
part of the reason why I'm with the company, and this is just my mindset, is to make money to live, and then also
Mhm.
what can I learn from this company so that I can create value for myself,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So now,
Mhm.
you know, now at this point in time, I'm starting to birth work hard, dress well, and I'm starting
Mhm.
to take everything that I learned from this, just from the 9 to 5, the corporate side of things, like all those things, and I'm kind of applying them to the brand that I want to create, how I
Yes.
see myself in the future, and
Yes.
how I want to service, kind of leave the world in a better place than what I left
Mhm.
it, type of thing. Like these are
Right.
the things I started to add. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of like my journey, like the short version of the story.
Right. Right.
Just like with the 9 to 5s, and then outside of that, I was still hustling. Right, I was still bartending on the weekends.
Mhm.
Sometimes I was interning with
Mhm.
celebrity stylists because
Yes.
I really wanted to just really jump into fashion in every capacity, so I can
Yeah.
see what I like, what I don't like, what I
Mhm.
enjoy, what I'm strong at,
Mhm.
what I'm not,
Mhm. Mhm.
all those things. So all of those experiences kind of just led me here to what
Yeah.
I'm doing. Um, and currently um I still have a lot going on, which is
Right.
everything that on my plate that I can eat.
Mhm.
That doesn't make me too full.
Mhm.
I'm still in partnership with a suiting company that I'm in the leadership role with, and then
Mhm.
also I'm running the work hard dress well side of things. And again, it's just like some of the stuff that I do on my side, I kind of apply it there, and some of the stuff that I can get from there, I kind of apply it here. So it's
Mhm.
great working energy, and
Yes.
yeah, I mean that's where I
Listen,
am right now. That's
hold on. You said so many things. I'm just sitting here like, yep,
yeah,
that
I
whole
know.
part. Like you said so many things is not even funny. Like, first of all, when you said in regards to like your employer and taking what you're learning within the companies that you are partnered with
Mhm.
to work for, whatever you want to call it. Listen, they're your investor. Right. I you take that and you integrate it into what you're doing within your business, because clearly in what they've built and clearly in what they're doing, they've done it well and they've been successful. So why not take that and figure out what you can do within yourself to elevate yourself? That's so smart. That's like number one in what you're doing, learning, growing, and figuring out what you can do in your current that will help you with your future. So that was amazing. Then you said tax bracket. Okay, listen, so you said when I left Club Monaco, that's why I left, right? So I'm very big on value, my time and my value, value meaning monetary value, right? And so when I was there, I was making them like what, 8,000, 10,000, whatever a day, not a
Right.
day,
A day.
right?
Right.
And you was talking about you was making what, 16, 17, child. I was making like $10 an hour when I first started with them. And then I was part-time. Then they promoted me to full-time. and they gave me like 12 or something like that. And I was just like, all right, cool. Right. And then I was like, once I was full time, they started taking out insurance and stuff. And I was like, hold on. So the little coin you gave me
Yeah.
is gone. So then I was like, all right, so we're gonna bet on ourselves. And I gave them my 2 weeks notice, like, okay, so this is not enough. This is the problem. And so I'm just gonna resign. And I had no clue what I was gonna do, but I just knew that what they were giving me was not an option for me at all. Right. And so that's when they gave me like a little dollar or two more to make it seem like, to make me feel nice and special. And I was like, yeah, that's fine, cool. And then they brought somebody else in. Remember, you talked about me being a Black woman. They brought somebody else in. I forgot where they came from. And no, I'm not throwing any shade. I'm not trying to make any implication. I'm just stating the facts. There was a white woman that came in and she was making like $16, $17 an hour, whatever it was. And so for me, that was the final straw. I was just like, you know what? Like, why am I sitting here killing it myself? And like, I don't feel valued. I don't feel any of those things. So this was June. I gave myself till August. Like, I am going to be out of this store in August. I had no clue what the job was going to be. I had no clue what I was going to do, to be very honest. And then that's when Kira came up to me. Do you remember Kira?
Yeah.
She came up to me and she was like, oh, I'm working part-time at a hotel and I just got a promotion to supervisor. I would love for you to come and interview, right, with the manager. I don't know Kira past Club Monaco. Okay. I don't know her outside of Club Monaco. We've never hung out, me and her by ourselves. She just saw my work ethic and was like, girl, I need you to come with me. Right. So I went, I interviewed, and I was like, great. And then that's when Josue interviewed as well. And I was like, oh, so me and Josue had a like unspoken competition, and he stole my soul a couple of times. No, I'm not mad. Don't worry about it. It's okay. I understand what I give up. I get it. You needed to do that. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm dead serious. He did steal my cells though. But and so it was like, it was crazy that me and him were going for the same position. And it was like, all right, well, who's going to get it? And I feel like you guys were betting on the low, like who was going to get the position or whatever. Anyway, so I ended up getting it. And that's when I resigned, literally mid-August. And I was making more money and I didn't know what this position was going to do for me, but I knew myself, and I was like, it was a new industry. I went into the hospitality industry, and I was just like, all right, like, it's been real, Club Monaco. It's been great. I love all the amazing people that I've met. Hello, Corey. We're still here today, and all of the experiences that I had and all that it taught me from a customer service perspective. So everything that I learned in Club Monaco literally helped me in the new position that I had within the hotel. And then once I started there, as you saw, I just blew up like less than 9 years. I was a GM making six figures and doing all those things, right? And so like, you are absolutely right. And when you say knowing your worth, understanding your value, sticking up for your value, and making sure that you are clear on what your expectations are, because child, people will give you what you allow and they will try to play all day.
I do want to unpack something that's said, and again, I guess we shout out Josue again, but even with you, he ended up working for that hotel too.
He did. And
the thing that I get from that, and even just like, just hearing the story, and I think this is actually our first time like really talking about this, is that you want to surround yourself with people who pretty much want to be where you want to be, but not necessarily want what you want. And I just feel like, I remember when you put it, like, I remember vividly when you put in your 2 weeks and like the countdown for you to leave. And in my mind, I thought Josue was going to leave with you, but he ended up leaving shortly after. But, and even, kudos to the girl who saw that value in you. And it's like, hey, I'm here. You know what I mean? Like, and not to say that things probably still would have worked out if you would have stayed, but I just feel like that just goes to show you that sometimes you may not get rewarded in the space that you're in. It may come externally. It may come from but however, you still put in that work. Whatever God or the universe for them it to see, you still put in that work for it to manifest something else. You know what I mean? Like, and I still think that working energy creates energy. Whether that's in retail and all that stuff. And I think you still put in that work, whether the company we was with at the time saw it or not, but you were still rewarded for that work. So
right. Yeah, no, you said it perfectly. Like, and don't get me wrong. Like a lot of times, like you said, everything is a journey, and a lot of people had no clue what I was dealing with outside of Club Monaco. Child, I'm not getting into that tea right now either. Just maybe I'll talk about it on a podcast, but 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 like you just never know what people are dealing with and are going through and what their missions and what their values are, and it's literally making the choice to just show up as your best self in every single way, because like you said, it may not be instant gratification, but it'll come right eventually, and putting in that work, and that's just how I am in general. And a lot of things that you said, you just had like all my chakras going off, because we're just so aligned in how we are. And like I said, I'm not saying that the people tuning in aren't amazing, right? You guys are amazing. But as you see, the people that I have on this project are phenomenal and extraordinary. And like literally, like everything that you were saying, I'm just like, yeah, absolutely. When you were like, emotional intelligence and just being focused and literally betting on yourself. That's what it is. And being a business owner and running your own organization and running for your dreams. And whether it's you want to be a business owner, whether it's getting a degree, whether it's getting a promotion, a job, whatever it is, it's literally you taking the risk and betting on yourself. And a lot of times individuals don't do that. And then when they see other people doing it, it makes them feel some kind of way. And instead of trying to figure out, hey, how do they do it? Like you said, it's not about wanting what people have, right? It's like, I don't want to be you, but I want to have that same level of success. I want to achieve those same level of goals. Let's partner together and figure out how we can do that, versus being crabs in the barrel, like, oh, you're on the top, let me figure out how I can take you down, right? And that's how you'll never win. And so, like you said, there's so many things that that I was just like, oh, yes, and this is why I rock to worry. This is why outside of Club Monaco, we are still here. I'm just saying, like, you are phenomenal and you're an amazing individual, and I absolutely love all that you do and all of the successes that you've had. And listen, I say it all the time, we've had a lot of achievements and we've gotten a lot of accolades, but this is only the beginning. Okay, I'm just saying. I am just saying. So what is one advice that you would give to a person that wants to get into business?
Do it afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Do it afraid. Whether, even if you're working a 9 to 5 right now, and something that you said just a few minutes ago was that I put in my 2 weeks and I didn't know what I was going to do. Do it afraid.
Mm-hmm.
You are confident in your value. You put in the work. Do it afraid. When you left the 6-figure job as a GM and you started your own company, your business, do it afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Bet on yourself. It's not necessarily, and this is just from my personal experience on where I am. Like, I still have long-term goals. I still have short-term goals.
Mm-hmm.
I am still afraid sometimes. Like, some days I wake up, I'm like,
forget that, change your mind.
I'm like, do I need to just focus on the full time and like put in more work, or do I need to just continue to do it afraid? Because what starts to happen is that the quicker and the faster that you fail at something when you're trying to achieve something, the quicker you'll learn how to do it right the next time. Yeah. And I think that a lot of the times is that, especially with social media and just with everything that's distracting us, it's distracting us in a way where we want to look perfect and we don't want to fail and we want to do it right the first time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's one, and I think we don't talk about doing it afraid or our downfalls or like our woes and what we went through, but those are the things that created that, that the $1 million company, the 2-point-something million company, or wherever you are in your journey, $250,000, like wherever you are in your journey, or even if you just made $50,000,
it's okay.
$5,000, 200 that month off of just the t-shirt brand, like, you do it afraid, like, keep going and don't be afraid to ask for help. And I say that because people need people. If it wasn't for the people who we're talking to, we're sharing everything with, like, we wouldn't be here. So if we need people to buy our stuff, we need people to help elevate us and to help grow us. So that would be like the main advice that I want to give who's thinking about getting started and getting started, and just do it afraid. And I'm not saying go out and quit your job right now and just jump into it, still do it, let that fund the flight. Shout out to my homeboy Blair. He's one of the owners of On the Road Clothing Group, and one of his favorite shirts was one of his favorite shirts that he did of mine was 9 to 5s are for those who are afraid to fly. And the reason why it was one of my favorite shirts because I took it personally when he put it up. I was like, no, I'm working 9 to 5 and I'm still working on my side business.
Like, don't come for me.
Yeah, so I think I did like this campaign, this Work Hard, Dress Well campaign, and I put at the bottom of it, I was like, 9 to 5s. I think I put something like 9 to 5s. No, I put someone said 9 to 5s are for those who are afraid to fly, but I believe that it can sponsor the flight. Right?
Listen, yes, you better go ahead.
So even though
wait, how you like? Wait, I was like a little triggered and offended, so I just created a whole T-shirt brand about it.
Right?
About it to respond because we don't react to things, we respond respectfully.
Respectfully, don't get me wrong. Like the message is clear, is and it's dope, and I get it. You know what I mean? And it's inspiring. You know what I mean? Again, it's like it's one of my favorite shirts, but at the same time, I'm like, that's not necessarily my story. I like it, but how can I make it mine? So I was like, all right, let's add this last part to it. Yeah. And then it's like once I make it, then I'll just wear the shirt, right? That's like where I want to be. I can just wear the shirt. But in this instance, just giving back and just sharing what we've been doing, use that 9 to 5 to sponsor the flight. Live under your means, downsize if you need to, because if you have a dream of getting into business, that in my opinion, I think that's like you're thinking generational, you're thinking kids, and do it afraid, and it doesn't always have to be perfect. I believe that once Work Hard, Dress Well is where it needs to be, and God willing, I have a couple of stuff like that, they may perfect it in the way that they see fit, you know what I mean? But it's something that I can pass on to a generation. Is hopefully I can employ people in my community for some, like a lot of people, like thousands.
A lot. Right? Yeah. How many employees you want? Tell you how many employees you want.
Listen, I think to give you a personal goal, I think I don't think we're going to scale our business up 2x, and we're going to hire at least 5 to 7 people. So that's something that I have for 2022. And write it down, put it on paper, make it, put it in the 2-dimensional before it becomes this 3-dimensional thing.
Absolutely.
Get it out your head. But again, I do want to go back to the point of doing it afraid, because the more you can do things afraid, the more that fear subside. And eventually, when you start to do stuff, that fear turns into confidence.
Absolutely. Somebody said, I'm not trying to curse, but somebody said you have to turn on your.
That's how you know it's good when you about to curse.
Somebody's like, you got to turn on your effort button, and I'm like, listen, this year that is where I am. Like when I said earlier that I took a hiatus, it was because I realized that there were more cycles and habits and behaviors and things that I needed to be rid of, right? And I grew my career and I got to where I wanted, but I was miserable. I was making the most money I ever made in my life. I was making 6 figures. I was getting 5-figure bonuses semi-annually. I worked I thought I wanted to be like a chief financial officer. So I worked very diligently to attain that goal. And I got to regional accounting, and I was like, I don't really like this. I think I want to be a GM. And that was in like 2015 when I made that decision. Like, I want to be a GM. And then within a couple of months, I was promoted to AGM, but I put in my 2 weeks resignation. Again, see, I don't play those games. Like, listen, when I know what I want.
I think did we speak around that time?
I don't know. Probably. I was just like, look, I know what I want. I know what I want. I know what I want to do. I know what my capacity is. And they heard me. You talked about growth and all that. I was in the development program. I graduated from the controller program. Then I graduated from the GM program. And they were like, oh, you need to be a front office manager. And I was like, I'm not going backwards. That's a lateral move. I want to be an AGM. Like, I was like, this is what I want. Right. And so I heard them and I explained what I wanted and I was very clear. And because they weren't giving it to me, I was like, okay, let me go find somebody else that will. Like, it is what it is, right? And so I ended up getting opportunity to be an AGM at another hotel. It was giving me like 15K more. And I was like, all right. So I resigned. Like, listen, I don't want to leave y'all, but you're not hearing me. And I know what I want to do and I know where I want to be. So here you go, respectfully. And yeah, and then they came back not even 15 minutes later. They came into the office and was like, so we don't want you to go. And so we have an opportunity at this hotel. So you can go meet with the GM before you leave today and see if that's where you want to go. And we can do that. I'm like, oh, okay. And this is how much we'll pay you. Oh, okay. It was 10,000 more than what my offer was. I was like, oh, okay. So I went. I didn't like the GM. I was like, absolutely not. I will never work for him. I could never. Listen, like you said, knowing your value, knowing quality of life, knowing who you want to work with, and I knew where I wanted to go. And being an AGM, my goal wasn't to be an AGM. My goal was to be a GM. So I wanted a GM that would teach me, right? Like I wanted somebody that was going to help me to elevate. So it was he wouldn't, he was about self. It was no way. So I called my COO and I called the VP of talent and I told him straight up, like, yeah, no, if it's that, no, thank you. Right. Like I just go to the other hotel. It is what it is. And then literally they call me back like, all right, so remember when you were at this hotel doing accounting and that GM was my mentor for my development program? And I was like, oh, absolutely. I'll go back to that hotel. Yeah, because I know him. I know his work ethic. He's going to teach me. And I was doing 90% of the work anyways that I was already doing. So it's fine. So that's when I went there and yeah, I got promoted there as AGM. And then I got promoted to GM at that same hotel. And it was great, but I was miserable. I was burnt out. I was working 16 hours a day. It was too much for me. Like it wasn't necessarily that the position was too much. I was happy. I loved my job, but what it was doing to me mentally, emotionally, and physically and spiritually, I was like, yeah, this is not worth it. It's either me or the job at this point. And so that's when I was like, I'd rather go build my own legacy, which you spoke about just not even 5 minutes ago, legacy and wealth and all that. I'd rather go build my own generational wealth and build my own generational legacy because this ain't it. I feel like I'm sacrificing myself and it's not really worth the squeeze. It's not really worth the juice. So I'm gonna go do this instead. And I had no clue, to be very honest. Again, betting on myself, taking the risk. I was just like, I just know this isn't working for me and I'm gonna go figure out something else that is. So I literally was like, I'm gonna go from $150,000 a year to zero. And I'm gonna go. Don't laugh. And I'm gonna go figure this out. Like I'm going to go figure this out. Is no, I could not stay there. And for myself, my whole life, I always put everything before me. Everyone, the job, everything before myself. So I was burnt out. And so it was like, girl, are you gonna choose you for once, or are you still gonna choose everybody and everything else? And so when I chose myself, it just felt so like it felt so freeing. Like I had no clue what it was going to look like. I had no clue I was going to be here, right? But I just knew that that was no longer what I wanted. It was no longer aligned to my purpose. It was no longer aligned to my vision. And I saw something bigger for myself. So it was just like, it's been real. Until next time. Don't be mad.
I do want to look. We making look. I do want to unpack some of the stuff that you said. It's based off what I know about you is that you have a very strong work ethic, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think all those experiences, right? Working towards these things, subconsciously you have this fear, but you know what you want. I'm about to do everything I can possibly to get what you need. It built the confidence for you to be where you are right now.
Yes.
That's my evolution, right?
Yes. 100%.
Right. So now, I'm not sure, like, that's a whole nother concept of like how you think about money, but like you're gonna make whatever you want to make, right? Because
absolutely
money just passes through.
Yeah.
And like what you have up here and that ethic that you have, that working energy creates energy. Like, I want money to like want to be around me. Like, I mean, but also I want my energy to be right, and I want my spirit to be right, and I want my intelligence to be right. And as you're talking, that's what I'm hearing. I'm like, oh, if getting an extra 10K or 15K means I'm going to work with that guy, I value my health and my mental capacity. I value that more. And I think because of those type of decisions and where you are, it's easy for a Chanel Spencer to be like, okay, I know what I want to do with life. This. And that's the concept too, where, I'm going to stand fight because I'm just going to burn the ships.
Mm-hmm.
It was that that AGM, that GM position, and you know what? Let me just burn these, and now I don't have a choice but to
Build these.
something. You know what I mean? Now I have to because I burnt this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's a play too. And I just wanted to like that's how my mind works when I'm listening to you,
Mm-hmm.
and just so I can give you a receipt that I hear you, but these are the things that I'm taking away and just kind of like putting my language on.
Absolutely. Like you hit it right on the nose. And it's like you said, money is a tool, right? And don't get me wrong, I want lots of it. Like I want a lot of tools. Right? Like we talk about 6-7 figures monthly is what I want, right? But it's essentially it's about you can have all of the things. Like I had all the things, the car, the apartment, like all of it was great, but internally I wasn't good. And so why I took the time off last year, like I made some money last year, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't what I wanted it to be. But I was willing to make that sacrifice in that year because I knew who I needed to be and I knew who I wasn't, right? And I realized when I left that job, I was like, look, there's still more healing I need to do. There's still more trauma I need to be rid of. There's still some things that I need to be I need to go. Like I need the Chanel that has gotten me this far. Like I love her, you are the greatest, but I need you to go because like there are things that the person that I needed to be was no longer within her. And so I had last year I just worked diligently. Like I didn't do speaking engagements, I didn't do interviews, I don't want to talk to anybody. I got some new clients because I needed to make some kind of coin, right? Like I needed to do something, right? But I was very clear on who I wanted to work with and who I didn't, right? And now I'm even 10 times more clear. There's people that come in my DMs to this day, like, oh, can we work on this project together? And I'm like, respectfully, no, because you're no longer my target audience. That's one. And two, I'm very clear on what I want and who I want to work with and the type of person that I want to work with. And so when you get clear on that, then literally the doors start opening. When you start shifting your mind from taking the scraps from underneath the table and understanding that you are the table, then things just start flowing in a different way. And so I knew who I needed to be and I knew who I wasn't, like I said. And so I took the time, like I promise you, and I asked the universe, show me what habits I need to break, what cycles I need to break, what patterns I need to break, who do I need to remove? Because that's part of it too. Like you said, the people that you have around you, listen, people smile on your face, but really they we're gonna get into that. But
no,
right?
that's a real thing with business.
Yeah.
Like it only takes one person to add to your life or take away from your life.
Absolutely.
Person.
One
Person.
like one, like no, like for real, like
either it's gonna be an addition or it's gonna be a subtraction.
Absolutely.
It's either one. It's either
Absolutely.
one. And I think it takes great discernment for you to figure that out, and great discernment to know it's like, hey, maybe are they good for you because just flesh wise, you need some type of vindication in the flesh, but it's not good for your heart. It's not good for you mentally, right?
Yes.
And then
it's a whole other conversation. But
listen, that's what happened when you start to like, it's gonna be a natural conversation. But I think these are one of those situations where you ever been on the phone talking, you was like, you know what, that could have been a whole podcast. This is what's happening right now. So
right.
I'm not mad at it.
But why these conversations are important is because a lot of times in business and people, when you get your degrees, when you get your accolades, when you get the salary, these are the things that people don't talk about, right? Like you see the end result, but you have no clue what happened behind the scenes and the work that we had to do to get to where we are. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and even though we're not where we want to be, essentially, if you look back, our growth has been substantial, right? And that's why we're going to get what we want, because we are in gratitude for what we've gotten. We are in gratitude for our journey, even though it has some like pitfalls and whatever else that you want to call it, but we're in gratitude for it because it allowed us to be who we are today, right? And so that's why there's no other option but for us to win. And I don't know what you're talking about with some plan B, with some going back to teaching. No. Or whatever you said that is, there is no plan B. It's this or this. That's it. Like it's this or this. And when you have that vindication, the universe, God, all of those pieces will make everything flow and go and just give you whatever it is that you need. But you have to be dedicated. You have to do it afraid. You have to be willing to take the risk, and you have to bet on yourself. And so, like, we're here. We're here 150%. And you're absolutely right in regards to having the right people around. Because like you said, like I was busy building the World Trade Center, not to bring that up, but I'm just saying, and I felt like because I had the wrong people in my life, it literally made them crash down like to the ground, right? And so now I feel like I'm building, what is it called? The one tower, the World Trade, the tower, the Freedom Tower. Now I feel like now I feel like I'm rebuilding, but I'm building the Freedom Tower, coming bigger and coming back bigger and better than I ever was, right? And so what you have to realize is, like we were talking about earlier, is just taking inventory and being very self-aware, right? Being aware of who you are, being aware of who you want, and being aware of what isn't working for you, and then be in action to make the change and make the shift is super important. Super important. So being consistent evaluation for sure. And then it's also being understanding what you want. And like you said, writing down your goals, being very clear on what it is that you want, right? And a lot of people like, we just going with life and whatever it is. No. What do you want? Say it, speak it. That's why I said, how many employees you want? Because we're gonna before we get off of this, you're gonna tell me what your goals are, because here on every platform that I'm on, I bring everybody on and they tell me what they want, and then you can ask Kalon on the episode that we recorded. Everything that he said he wanted before the end of the year, he attained it. Like he left his job, he got the branding, he had photographers under him. So whatever it is that you want, before you get off of this, we definitely going to speak all of that into existence. So yes, be very clear on what you want and to make things happen for sure. Absolutely. So what do you feel is next for you? What is your next?
So what's next for me is to scale the brand, work hard, dress well, and honestly, it's gonna sound weird, but I'm actually in the process right now. You know this personally, but just I'm downsizing. You know, and it's and I'm guilty of it too. And I'm human, but I've been in situations where I learned a lot of things, but and then I have to be honest with yourself. Are you practicing? Are you practicing the things that you know? That's the difference between where you are now and where you're not, right? What got me here is not going to necessarily get me to that next step. So I need to implement and do something that's out of my character. I need to break this routine that I have. It looks good, it looks great on social media, but am I really practicing those things? So like, I'm downsizing. I'm moving back to New York to be around the people I need to be around. Downsizing in the sense of like, I'm in this huge house that I don't need to be in. And it's just distracting. It's a lot of stuff that I have to focus on. Because I am single. So it's just like, I don't have like a big family at home doing all these things. So it's just like, all right, this is where I am. And I really had to take an inventory of my life and say, like, hey, this is where I am. But this is what I want to do with the brand and with the company. And this is how I want to grow. What do I need to change to help me get me there? Right. So I'm in the process of downsizing so I can upgrade everything else. Right.
Wait, hold on. Say a lot for the people in the back, because I don't think people understand that we have to sacrifice sometimes.
You have to sacrifice
the bigger vision and the bigger goal.
And again, and just to apply like that being around the right people thing is that I'm going closer to. Shout out to Jerome Eunice, who's actually co-founder of Work Hard, Dress Well. But he, if it wasn't for him and his skills with the photography and the videos and just being that sounding board and just being like open and receptive and just creative, like all the things that I want to be around, and that iron sharpens iron, it's worth for me to shut all this stuff down and like, all right, let's get closer here, because eventually we're gonna come back. Everything is here, but this is what we need to do right now in this moment so we can scale the business, get the right team around us, continue to grow. So that's next on the internal side. Externally, and I want to scale the business. I want to scale up to 350,000 a year. I want to have at most 5 new people on the team where we can, because right now we're working in and out with like interns. I do partner with other companies who do what they do well.
Right.
So we kind of doing it that way, but also and I do want to have a brick and mortar for the creative content space for Work Hard, Dress Well.
Yes.
And whether that's in New York or in Atlanta.
Both. Mm-hmm.
or both.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we do have some temporary space that we use in New York, but I
Mm-hmm.
want to put, I want to have a brick and mortar with the Work Hard, Dress Well LLC up under it.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
so like that's what's next.
Mm-hmm.
Also, because of the Chanel Spencer and being around the right people, and just because of you, I'll be able to put author.
Oh,
I'll be able to put Corey Hackett /
what
Work Hard,
happened?
Dress
What
Well
happened? What was that?
/ co-author, author there. And then honestly, just growing the brand, both internally and externally, in just great ways, and just bringing more awareness to the brand as well. Really, just getting creative with our marketing, the visuals that we kind of push out, so we can just really distract and disrupt the people and inspire them. So yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Listen, all that's gonna happen. You're gonna make more than 350,000, child. Like that's gonna be light work. You'll be like, that was a
I
bad
know,
month.
I know,
Like,
I
it's like,
know,
that
I
was a
know,
bad
I
month.
know.
You know what
I
I'm saying?
know,
Like,
again,
yeah.
but this is as the Work Hard Dress Well brand. Like,
Yeah.
I want everybody to eat around me. I want
Mm,
everybody feeling good. Like, I want people to look at the group and can't tell who the leader or who's
right.
who and what they
Mm,
do. And like,
yes.
I just want that for the team around me, and also for the people who we service. Like, I want
Mm,
that for them as well. So I go in it with that mindset, leading with love, doing it with love, servicing with love, and then hopefully, I need to stop saying hopefully too. Like, there's like hope in word, like try.
yeah. No,
Uh,
what I'm going to do or what I want.
this is what
Mhm,
we're doing. This is what we're
mhm,
doing. This is what's going
mhm,
to happen in the future, in the
mhm,
near future,
mhm.
before the year's out. So
Yes, listen, all that's gonna happen. And then some and more, because just who you are as an individual and how you show up every single day, like I think that it's amazing. And like I said, I don't connect myself with people that aren't, game changers. Because as you see, hello, I'm just saying, introduce yourself to the world, Corey. Like I see gifts, I see talents, I see the hard work, I see the dedication, I see all of that. And because I'm the same, it's like I like to align myself with people that are within the same journey. It might be different paths, but it's still aligned in with who we are as individuals. And that, like you said, is very important to have the right people around you, and like to see your growth, and to see, we started at Club Monaco, and we're like what, like little teeny, but not maybe teeny boppers. I felt like a teeny bopper, but you know what I'm saying.
I
We
was,
might as well have been.
I didn't have none of this facial
Yeah,
hair.
he was definitely giving high school. Okay, he was definitely giving ninth grade high school. Okay, just saying. And if I was
Not ninth grade.
ninth grade, I mean, I probably was giving like seventh grade, because everybody thought I was like 11 teen my whole life. Like, oh my gosh, but, but no, like you to see your growth, and to see your continued growth, and to see that you're still, even as you had success, you're still like, I want more, right? And again, it's not in a place of ungratefulness in any way, shape, or form. It's just like, as individuals, it's like we just want the best for ourselves. We want to be the best version of ourselves. We want to be able to impact not our own lives, but other people around us. And that's the difference, right? It's yes, you want to win, yes, you want to have all the things, but it's like, what impact are you having on others? What contribution are you leaving to the world? And you are, right? And so, like, look, I can't wait till you come to New York. It's like, you said videographer, photographer, it's talent. Like, have you seen my Instagram? I love when your photo shoot, child. I'm just saying. But,
I appreciate that.
but
And
I
yeah,
appreciate
yes.
you. And I'm going to give you a couple of seconds or a few minutes just to give a closing statement, and to tell the beautiful people how they can connect with you. The stage is about to be yours. So let the people know.
Will do. So again, my name is Corey Hackett of Work Hard, Dress Well. I believe when you look and feel good, you do good. And today I just want to leave with you: do it afraid, and continue to do it afraid until that fear subsides. The more you fail, the faster you fail, and the faster that you can get over that, the quicker that you become more confident in doing the things that you used to fear. And I want you guys to continue to stay around positive people, feed your gateways. When I say your gateways, your eyes, your ears, what you see and what you hear, just fill those things with positive things, images, voices, and yeah, just do it afraid. I want to leave you guys with that. You can find me at whdw.workharddresswell on all handles. That's on Instagram at whdw.workharddresswell. On Facebook, /whdw.workharddresswell. And check us out on our website at www.workharddresswell.com. And yeah, if you guys need help in 2022 with all of your image and branding content needs, let us know. Contact me at my email at workharddresswell.com. And have a great year. I love you guys. Do it afraid. And let's tap in. Let's get it.
Listen, and you talking about all the things that you're doing. He said if you need branding and image consulting, he mentioned that he's going to be an author. So listen, like I said,
all because of the people that I keep around, the rapport that I've this is living proof. Like just living proof. Like being around the right people, building great relationships, building that rapport, and surrounding yourself with great people. And she's bringing me to the top with her. And I appreciate you. I thank you. And actually, I think when we met, I was like, hey, I've been working on a book. I've been doing this and this. And he was like, hey, I got an idea. And I thought about you. And I'm like, okay. So now it's it's instant pressure. It's like, okay.
Listen, I apply pressure. Okay.
good pressure. So yeah, all those things, man. I'm excited. I'm excited for the people who are listening. I'm excited for us to continue to grow and to give people something to listen to, and then hopefully we can inspire somebody who can say that we inspired them so they can inspire others. I just want that.
How we inspired each other, you know what I'm saying?
I want to keep going.
To
keep going.
Yes. So listen, beautiful people, I'm going to hit you with this amazing book trailer because listen, if you don't know me by now, I love to have presentations and make things look amazing and market the hell out of everything. I'm just saying. So say bye to the beautiful people because we're gonna reconnect behind the scenes.
Absolutely. Work hard, dress well, baby. Y'all tap in. Peace.